Now we have an all-female undefeated British clash here. Francesca Hennessy against Ellie Bouttall. Ellie Bouttall, most people might not know who she is. She's 7-0, someone who resides out of China, so again, she hasn't really fought in England, so she's not really as popular as someone like Francesca Hennessy, who obviously is with boxing and has fought on pretty much every show that is televised. Now, with Francesca Hennessy, you'll see the way she boxes, she's slick, she moves, she uses her footwork, and again, she's good at catching shots while landing. She creates awkward angles and throws some awkward angles where her opponent just misses with ease. You see here the way she lands her shots, lands what she needs to, and then moves out of range, and resets, comes forward, and then lands again what she needs to. But another thing you'll see with Hennessy here is the way she picks her shots is great, but sometimes she gets too complacent in the sense of she'll get caught with silly shots on the inside where she doesn't need to, where she can tee up like this against people who are like probably domestic level at best, but when she steps up to an elite level, she might get exposed. But so far she does well, and you'll see here defensively minded, she's unreal. Lands her shots, catches it with the right hand. She's 2 steps further than the people that she's fighting at the moment, but when she steps up to that elite level, time will tell. But overall, she's passed every test with flying colours beside a few competitive fights which she shouldn't have. But you know what she's like, she's flash, she's cocky, but again, there's nothing wrong with that. Similar with Ben Whitaker, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you get the job done, and she's done it every time, so fair play with her. But her distant management is key. You'll see here the way she lands her shots and moves out. She uses her range, she doesn't give up her range with ease. She does at times, but most of the time she doesn't get caught with silly shots unless she just stands there, which you'll see here against Gemma Rugg, which she did. So although she's using her good defense for counter punching and landing good shots, and you'll see here the way she switches stance, lands her body shots, her only time she does get caught with silly shots is when she's complacent and just stands there, where she has great defense, just like there. Silly mistakes which you can't do at the elite level. So there's a bit of contrast where she has her moments, but at the same time she doesn't have her moments. But overall, she's a solid fighter from what we see, where with Ellie Bouttall you can see she's only fought in China, she had one fight in Thailand, so she's not really known on the British scene or domestic scene, but she's rough and tough, she's a high output fighter, she's game, she'll push you back, try and land anywhere, head, body, even her arms. So Francesca Hennessy needs to box and move, because if you're going to go toe to toe with her, she might put your lights out even though she only has one knockout. But with Ellie Bouttall here, you'll see the shots she's landing are just too wild. She needs to tighten her work up, because she's getting caught with silly shots because the other person is just like her, but she's just throwing at the same sort of angle and same sort of wide hooks or weird unorthodox angles, where it's hard to do that where you'll find someone at a technical fighter, because they're going to pick you apart, where she can get away with this level of opponent when she's doing it. So overall, she needs to work more, do what she needs to do, but tighten her work. I think that is the key against someone like Francesca Hennessy, because if you're going to try and box and move with her, it's not going to go your favour. So how she's fighting here is how she should fight against Francesca Hennessy, but more cautious and more tighter. So overall, it's a close, on paper it's a close fight, but in my eyes it's not really a close fight. The way you've seen Ellie Bouttall just pick this opponent apart and then just pushing her, just pretty much just smothering her work, but sometimes a slick fighter can see through that with ease, where people like this, you're not going to get away with it. And Ellie Bouttall herself, she does get caught with silly shots, even though she pushes them back and has a high output and high volume, she still will just stand there and just get picked apart. So she needs to work on her defense as well, because you see how low her guard is, and it's not like she's using her reflexes to back it up. She's just standing there getting hit. She's happy to take to land free, but 9 times out of 10 she doesn't land free, so most scenarios just pretty pointless. But again, the way she's cutting the ring here, she is very good at cutting angles and cutting the ring off, but then she gets turned and gets caught with silly shots. She needs to tighten up on that as well. Now with her keys to victory, as I said, volume punching, which means a high output. When you throw your shots and you're just throwing your 6, 7, 8 punch combos, be defensive minded, because Hennessy will probably counter punch you, then land probably a few more shots and then pivot out. Body shots while she's mobile, because when she's on the move, of course the body never moves, so that is your target area, because she's uses her feet very well. And be the bully, don't be bullied. push her back. Now with Francesca Hennessy, it's quite simple. You got to stick to your boxing, avoid the inside work. When you land, pivot, land again for the whole 10 rounds. If you're going to just land and hold, she will wear you down bit by bit. So that's why you got to stick to your boxing against someone like Ellie Bouttall, make her miss and make her pay. So it's pretty much simple for both fighters. When you have a tough, brawler against someone who's a slick boxer, they're each other's kryptonite, so it's who gets the better of who. But in this case, I do believe it will be the slick boxer. I do believe Francesca Hennessy is a bit too skillful for her. She's fought at a higher level than her, and overall she has more experience than her. Where against Ellie Bouttall, again, she's padding her record against people where, don't get me wrong, obviously she lives in China, so she's going to fight in China. It makes sense on a personal basis, because otherwise you're traveling here, there, everywhere. So I get a point why she's doing that, but then at the same time, you got to question who really has the better resume, who's a better boxer, and who's a better all-round fighter. And I do believe that's Fran Hennessy, and I do believe she'll get the job on points, because again, she can break her down, but her power's not really there. I do believe it'll be a bit competitive, where Ellie Bouttall will have a moment, she might win a few rounds, but overall, I do believe it's a Fran Hennessy points. I do believe she'll win probably wide and unanimous decision victory, and I do believe she'll probably get a well title shot if she wins. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Apologies for my voice, I do have a chest infection, so obviously as you could tell, can't sound 100%, but tips have got to be made, and your money has to be paid as well. But that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and as always, this ain't financial advice. This can be what I'm betting and backing based off my own research. Have a great day, boys.